Back again here with the 1AT. Trying to keep everything stock as possible. AC working and that kind of stuff. Big issue. Seems that the 4-cylinder Mark III compressors have the hoses a little bit inward, which you'll see because of that. You can't get the hose in there. See that? Memory and looking around, VR compressors are off to the side, probably because they have a pretty big oil filter housing on their own. Trying to look around. Fortunately, I had stuff. I sold it. Looking for just a used junk one or good one. It doesn't matter. I just don't want to spend 200 bucks on one and it be wrong. With the VR compressor, it looks like the 2 holes will be about right here. And if that's the case, it should just, just clear. But again, I gotta get a compressor and try it out. It irritated me pretty good this morning. There's more stuff I can do. It's just a pain. So I would like to have everything in place as possible, just because it's easier to work. I gotta route all the coolant lines. I gotta route all the boost piping. So it'd be really nice to have everything in here. Oh well. Next, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna put on my whole assembly that I had made before. This car used to be turboed for a long time. Sold the kit, thought I was gonna sell the car, and then plans changed. Mark IIIs are skyrocketing now. Well, skyrocketing, I guess, by an extra like $1,000-1,500 bucks, but for me that's a lot. I made this. It's a backdoor intercooler. You can see it's all made out of the stock cross member from a Mark III. Over here I have the entire core support that I took out. How this is an entire rebar. These all bolted to the rebar. It's through the other side. It's like a bunch of 13. I bought this a great deal. There's no longer a place for this to bolt to. What I did was I got it all mocked up in place, and I just got a piece of metal, put it in here in the gooch, and then just put a few welds on it, and then ran a bolt hole or hole through so I could bolt this with the bumper bolt. Right here will be that hole, and that's the bumper bolt. So that's what secures the front upper core support, because I guess technically there's two pieces. This goes on first. This will go on second. It's pretty easy, but when I put the actual core support on, then I'll go get the rad and stuff and show you what sort of modifications I needed on that. 413s, pretty short ones, and 2 liter, making 20. Looks pretty good, doesn't it? Because that intercooler is so big, you can see there's this notch right here, and that's actually to clear the power steering bracket right here, or bar, line, whatever you're gonna call it. Little notches for that to block it, or keep it from running into it. And then also you can see this is the factory bolt hole right here. It has a completely broken off bolt in it. I have to actually move the radiator back. That notch is made for this bar because the whole rad is moved slightly back. This is now a VR rad, so that's why both hoses are now on the passenger side. And then swapped over the little rubber booties, swapped over the coolant or the fan switch, all the little rubber things at the top. You need these in here. It's like isolation. The rad would vibrate back and forth. So you have 213s that go down through the middle and just locate this. Specific bolts. This is the lower bolts for the radiator on a Mark III. You can see they're relatively long, pointed little ends so they can kind of self-start themselves. They have a big washer that's captured. This is the real special bolt on top. This goes through the upper core support down into the rad to locate. You can see it's just a pin. Ensure you put anti-seize on it. Whacking in the thing, busting my finger up. Do now is put another O-ring down on this hose that comes from the receiver dryer, and it's gonna go right there to the condenser, and put some anti-seize on that too so we don't have any more issues. And then after that we gotta check the trans fluid. Wrote it down like 4 or 5 times, haven't done it yet, so we're gonna do that. I'll show you how to do it. Pretty easy on these cars. So you can see I got the intercooler off, but I did manage to get this lower condenser bolt on. It was a horrible ordeal. This hose from the condenser to the dryer is no longer available. I checked and I checked and I checked. Can't get it anymore. Had to fix it. And how I did that, this line from the old condenser, taking it off, it actually took some of the aluminum in the threads and they were stuck in there. I just sat here and spray cleaned it out and just ran a pick like I was screwing into it. Basically just held the nut like I was screwing it onto the pick and just kept scraping and scraping and scraping, trying to get all that metal out. And I got it to where it was decent, but the hose would not go into the condenser. So this is a brand new condenser. The hole inside of here was not bored out enough for the hose. Yeah, brand new part, issues. I measured the hose and it was relatively big size. And I just put it in the drill bit and opened the hole up. I think it was approximately 10 mil. No, maybe not even that, depth wise that is. So I did that and put the O-ring on, pushed it in and tightened it up. You can see it doesn't move, so it's nice and secure in there. The other thing was that this hose was completely seized in this receiver dryer. So then you were talking about, I'd need this hose, I'd need the receiver dryer. Receiver dryer you can get, it's like 26 bucks, maybe even cheaper. But like I said, this hose is no longer available, so just made do. Really irritating. I gotta throw the front mount back on and then get moving, but that was 35 minutes of just nonsense, just absolute nonsense. 17 mil Allen, this is the fill plug. What I'm gonna do is crack this loose, take it out, see if any fluid drips out. If it drips out, I know it's full. If it doesn't drip out, I can put my finger in there and see how close it is. Like any Allen, you make sure you're all the way in and just crack it. There you go. Let's see if we have fluid coming out. I know we're good. If we don't, we gotta check it. Nothing coming out, finger out. 100% empty. Right here, this 17 mil right here, I'm sure you can see it. Don't know how. There we go. People I got this from aren't like, they're just, they're odd on their own. So, yeah, you can see that was barely anything. But, yeah, I guess it looked clean. I'll look in the drain plug. But that's a good reason right there. Always check your used parts. If you buy an engine from somebody, make sure there's oil in there first, you know what I mean? Or take it out. Transmission, I would have been real butthurt if I would have been driving down the road and this thing seized up because there's no oil in it. And then, you know, it probably rolled over 8 times and that's what was left over in it. Well, from what I can see, there's no chips on anything. Usually when you get like German brand stuff, it's all in liters. As you can see, a liter is more than 1 quart. But I also have this MT90 gear oil. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put all of this liter in, and then whatever is left that I need, I'm gonna put this in. I don't have anything else. I didn't expect this to be empty. I expected just to top it off. So we'll see. I think usually when I like rebuild transmissions, I just throw two liters in, fill it up until it starts leaking out. It's easy enough. We have this nice little pressure bleeder. So you just open this up, fill it up with whatever fluid you want. It's got this little spout on it. Stick it in there, pump until it starts spewing out. I started working on coolant hoses and stuff like that. This is a stock 180 hose, and I had just, down here, I was just taking off the quick connect, taking that out, and I cut it down about like a ½ inch. And it fits really good. It's in here. It is close to the fan, but I don't think it'll hit. What I did for extra protection, cut a bigger hose. That scrap hose. This is 1 inch hose. I just cut like a 2-inch section of it and split it down the middle and wrapped it around and put a zip tie on it, and then I zip tied it to the empty bell housing bolt up here. Now that's totally out of the way. Fighting with now is this upper rad hose. I got the TT manifold. This is the TT 225 manifold. That's why it faces this way, driver's side. This specifically to making, you know, intercooler piping nice and easy. You can see this hose isn't a double 90. If it was a double 90, I'd probably be fine. But right here, this is like a 45, where the quick connect also was a 45. With the quick connect, it came out as a 90. Because of that, like, I can't 90 this hose over it. So I gotta go home and get another hose and see if there's something that is like a double 90. And then shouldn't be hard after that. And then once I get that done, then I could do the boost piping. The hose going from the expansion tank down to here. I was going to use the OEM hose. It looks like it'll fit fine. I ordered that hose. It's like 10 bucks. Still keeping us well under that $1,000 swap cost. So as of now, here's how it looks. It's got the big front mount on it. Big dirty front mount. It's gonna be pretty sweet when it's done. See you guys in the morning. Back at it next day. I went to my old job and I got a VR compressor. It's totally cooked, but at least I can clean it up and, you know, put it in and make sure that this having the lines over here is actually gonna do what I need. You can see how they're much further over. Take the AC compressor off and put that one on. So here's how I'm gonna bend this line. I made the mark of where it needs to be bent. The only way I can see doing this is physically bolting it into another compressor or that compressor, whichever way you can do it. And I'm just gonna heat this up with the torch, and I'm gonna hit it with the dead blow. I'll let it cool down, but you can see. Take off the sand. But you can see now I have the bend. So whereas that used to be straight, it's now bent. Sweet. I thought maybe I bent it the wrong way, but I got the mark on there. I hit it right. I have the bend. Got the AC lines kind of bent. It's not great. I mean, I honestly don't know what else I can do. There's no different hose. I have plenty of clearance. I'm thinking maybe when there's pressure in it, it'll be okay. I mean, it could be a weak point, could blow up. I don't know, but that's as best as it is right now. It's at least holding vacuum. You can see it right there. It's holding. So I'm gonna let that sit for 10 minutes. If it seems fine, I'm just gonna order a VR compressor, put it on, fill it up, and call it done. I mean, besides having a completely custom line made, I don't know what to do. If that one breaks, that's what I'll do. But really hope it doesn't come to that. I'm gonna leave this VR compressor in there. I need it to mock up things. I have bent the line, so I have plenty of clearance down there now, and I think we'll be fine. And it's about routed in the OEM location. This is like an aftermarket hose, no type of like name brands. Only one I could find, brand new. They just made it too long. That's what it seems like. Maybe pack this up because it's already 3 o'clock on a Sunday.